evening and happy Mashujaa Day to you on this 20th day of October 2013. We thank you so much for joining us this evening. We have a great bulletin lined up for you with all the latest happenings this long weekend, even as tomorrow is a public holiday. Before we get into our news though, we had promised you a rerun of the inside story by John Allen Namu, talking about what really happened at the Westgate Mall during that siege that the country was held hostage to for 4 days. We will not be airing it tonight, but rather later on in the course of the week, and this is due to the spirit of patriotism, where we are celebrating Mashujaa Day today and indeed tomorrow, but it will be airing later on this week, so do stay tuned to KTN for that rerun in the course of this week. Let's get to our top stories this evening. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has fired yet another salvo at the International Criminal Court as he seeks Kenyan support against foreign powers. Presiding over his first Mashujaa Day as president, Uhuru did not mince his words. And as the government battles its ICC demons, Deputy President William Ruto joined Kenyans in Belgium for a ceremony to mark Mashujaa Day.
With Deputy President William Ruto away in The Hague, President Uhuru Kenyatta appeared rather lonely on the dais as he presided over his first Mashujaa Day celebrations under the Jubilee government. He condemned the International Criminal Court over the ongoing cases against Ruto and himself.
Unajua kuna watu wengine huko wanatusumbua na mambo yao huko, lakini sisi tumesimama imara, na nataka kuhakikishia ya kwamba haya ni mambo ambayo yatapotea. Huyo shetani mbaya atashindwa na Kenya yetu itaendelea mbele.
Please be seated.
As Kenya pushes its agenda to pull out of the Hague-based court, the head of state has accused foreign powers of seeking to manipulate Kenya, and in his maiden Mashujaa Day speech urged Kenyans to reject such attempts.
Our forefathers rejected colonialism and imperial domination in their time. We must honor their legacy and stay true to our heritage by rejecting all forms of domination and manipulation in our time.
This was not President Kenyatta's first fiery rhetoric against Western influences. About a week ago, he spoke during the AU Extraordinary Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where he hit out at the ICC and Western nations, accusing them of meddling in the affairs of African countries. With barely 3 weeks to the scheduled start of his case at the ICC, Kenyatta was firing on all cylinders.
They may be powerful and rich, but so were the colonists. They may disrespect, but we have defeated their ilk before. The struggle to defend our independence is a daily calling for all Kenyans and indeed all the people of Africa.
Missing in action back home, Ruto was not to be outdone. He left the Netherlands and joined other Kenyans in marking Mashujaa Day celebrations in Brussels, Belgium. Meanwhile, as Kenya soldiers on in the spirited fight to pull out of the ICC, the Crimes Court is also fighting back. The ICC has said that no matter what happens in Kenya, the state does not have a choice but to cooperate and extradite ex-journalist Walter Barasa to The Hague. The ICC says complementarity doesn't apply to Barasa. This is where a state party is asked to investigate and prosecute the subject so that the Hague Court does not intervene. Hence the warrant of arrest on Barasa stands, Kenya's judicial process notwithstanding. As the plot at the ICC thickens, it is still unclear what will happen come November 12th, when the president's ICC case is scheduled to start. The ICC issue has been seen as a unifying factor in propelling Jubilee into power. However, the issue has continued to be the proverbial poison chalice for President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. Despite missing his deputy by his side for his second consecutive National Day celebration, President Kenyatta remained confident that the two leaders will indeed clear their names. Ben Kitili, KTN, Nairobi.